Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Scooby Doo review. I'm your host, Zerk. With me is my co host, Pen. Say hello, Pen.
Hello, everyone.
Together, we have decided that every other Wednesday, until we either run out of things to review or expire, we are going to be reviewing a piece of Scooby Doo media. This week, we are continuing our run through the Scooby Doo show from 1977, Season 2. Made up of 8 episodes, we will be covering all 3 of the bad ones.
Oh, yeah, man. These are the awful, most meh episodes we've ever seen. Uh, Starting with the creepy heap from the deep onto the Chiller Diller Movie Thriller, and finally ending out at the spooky case of the Grand Prix race.
As with all of our episodes, we will begin our suffering by summarizing the story. Pen, would you like to kick us off with Creepy Heap from the Deep?
Okay, so the Scooby Gang are at a beach. They're having a good time. It's very dark out. I believe, Scoob and Shag are trying to fish, and the rest are just sort of relaxing at the beach. When a weird green monster walks out of the water and antagonizes the teenage mystery solvers that are our protagonists. Um, it spooks Scoob and Shag, who then run into a sandcastle and morph it into a perfect a pile of sand that just morphs into a perfect sandcastle instantaneously.
Good to know they retain that ability from What's New.
Yes, yes, they were master sculptors there too. Uh, Um, okay, so they're scared. They see that there is a like house on the coast. It's creepy. There's a lightning that comes
Yeah.
down when they look at it. They run over there. They find an old sea captain.
Yep. And the sea captain basically explains to the gang that the monster they saw and chased them is like this old sort of local legend because he literally pulls a book that is like the like list of encyclopedias that your grandma has of like
Hmm.
mysteries and unsolved disappearances that she like just has on her bookshelf, like right next to the like World War II plane manuals.
World War II plane manuals?
What? Your grandma doesn't have World War II plane manuals?
No, she's got like crocheting flipping gear, you big
Anyways,
doofus.
uh, it's like one of those old ass books you find at your grandparents' house, and he basically reads out the story of this monster and says that it's a cursed pirate captain turned into a monster that looks like one of the bosses from Skyward Sword. I'm sure our good friend Keith will put an image of said boss in here for us,
Yeah.
and the captain basically tells the gang that they have to either get out or they'll get their souls stolen by this monster.
Yep.
So the gang leaves, and like 30 seconds after they leave, the monster gets inside the captain's house, and we get a shot of him like screaming into the camera, and then a usual bum bum sort of,
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah. And then the gang finds the mystery machine covered in kelp, because of course they do.
Can't run now. Covered in kelp. Don't run. So
Gas
they,
line. We got salt in the gas lines.
oh no, somebody put sugar in the gas tank and a potato in the tailpipe.
Whatever
Um,
will we do?
so they decide that, don't they decide that instead of running, they're going to go to the monster? Oh
Scooby and
no.
Shag. No, they all go up back to the house,
Hmm.
and they find the captain with his soul taken out of him.
Yes, in a very good
It's just
face.
kind of.
It's wonderful.
Anybody watching the audio only is just not gonna get what we just did.
We just did
Scooby Doo
stupid funny
review,
faces.
YouTube.com, subscribe.
Yeah, do that. Hell
Um,
yes.
so what happens after that is Scooby and Shaggy stay behind to keep with the captain while Fred, Daphne, and Velma go down to the beach to look for the monster. While Scooby and Shaggy are looking after the captain, he stands up and exposits to them in the most blunt and obvious way possible that his soul belongs to the creature and he's gonna grab him. So Scooby and Shaggy run away from the captain. They end up in an elevator that takes them down to the beach where they encounter the creepy Heap again and they Bugs Bunny away and convene with the gang. And I this is when they see the light.
Yes, the light. Then they finally, right, they see a light in the distance and a light coming from the captain's house.
Yeah.
So they decide that they're going to go out to whatever that light is out in the ocean and see what it is. So they put on their scuba gear and go for it. That this is when the comedy anchor comes in, right?
Yes, yes. So they pull out into the fog and they decide to dive down because they lost track of the monster. And Scooby pulls a comedy anchor out from hammer space and it weighs down the like dinky ass little raft that they're in. Like
Yes, when he
there's
throws it down, it weighs it. It causes the entire little dinghy they're on to just florp into the ocean, meaning that there's no way that Scooby could have carried it onto the boat because the anchor he was carrying is more weight than the boat. Doesn't make any sense. Just
yeah.
comes out of hammer space. It's
Yeah.
it's
And this is when the gang ends up in an abandoned U-boat.
we think it's a U-boat. There is no actual insignias or identification.
But given Mystery Inc.,
Look, okay, here's the thing, viewers who've not seen Mystery Inc. There is a literal abandoned Nazi robot factory that is underwater off the coast of California. There is one man, Skipper Sheldon, who has been defending America from Nazi robots for years.
this is an actual plot point in Mystery Incorporated.
He
I
fights
cannot
Nazi robots.
I cannot wait to talk about this show.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
But
Um, but it's just a U-boat.
yeah.
So they end up just sort of putting on their weird 70s scuba masks that are you don't need a wetsuit, you won't die from the pressure, whatever, whatever, who cares. And they get inside of the U-boat.
Yeah. And then they just kind of fart around in the U-boat getting chased by Mike Wazowski and what's her face's kid. That's what he looks like.
What do you mean, what's her face's kid?
You know how Mike Wazowski's dating like the one-eyed Gorgon?
It's been like years since I've
Okay,
seen
we need to
Monsters
watch
Inc.
we need to watch Monsters Inc. Because like that.
I didn't watch Monsters University either.
Don't. It's not that great. But anyways, they get chased around by the Mike Wazowski looking ass creepy Heap from the deep, and eventually they escape the U-boat, go back to the shore, and Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby end up in a beach hut.
Yeah, no, it's just like a random rundown beach shack made out of driftwood and tin sheets. Um, in there they find a man, very strange man.
Just
Yes,
senile old beach hobo.
absolutely. Crap, I am blanking on this.
He has the shark. He doesn't have a name. He's never named or explained, but he has a pet shark named Walter that he almost feeds Scooby to.
Yeah, right. He just has a shark and is a weird man that doesn't ever really like come back. It's very
It's very
weird.
strange. Very strange.
It's really weird. I think we're missing a part where like they get chased out of the submarine by
No, they got chased out of the submarine. They attempted to fly. They end up in the beach shack after getting ejected from the bulkhead. Because the
right,
wheel is
right,
up.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So, anyways, after getting ejected from the submarine and ending up at this beach hut where we just have this random sequence with this weird beach hobo, the fog finally clears, and Fred basically is trying to put together the mystery, and they see the lights again, and they decide to find out what's actually there, and they find like this rickety ass fishing boat,
Yeah.
which is directly above the sub.
Mhm.
So they call the sheriff and go back down to the fucking U-boat.
Yeah.
In the U-boat, the zombie captain and the creepy Heap chase them around a bit, and they eject everything out of the torpedo tubes onto the beach, right into the waiting arms of the sheriff department.
Which is, to be honest, a pretty like it's insane. It's whack as heck, but it's pretty cool. I like
Yeah.
that one.
It's not a terrible gag or a way to end the episode. Honestly,
No.
when it comes to this episode, the opening 5 minutes are good and the last 5 minutes are good, but everything in between is just kind of a slog.
Yeah,
Just, just
it's
totally.
all of the episodes that we have for you today, viewers, are kind of meh. They're not
Yeah.
great. I do like how this guy has a varied motive than
Yeah. Yeah.
other
So, would you
guys.
like to tell us what the villain scheme is this time around, Penn?
Okay, so the villain scheme is that the creepy heap is actually a bunch of different criminals being smuggled out of the country by the sea captain, who, in exchange for money, would dress them up as the sea monster, have them swim out to the U-boat where they would receive new clothes and papers and such, and then swim back up to the rickety old fishing boat that is anchored above the U-boat and be smuggled out of the country. This would be a service to help people who had recently escaped from jail, who, as the actual sea monster, is just some guy who broke out of jail. I don't even think they name him.
No, they don't. It's just a guy who's wanted for grand larceny.
Yeah. Random criminal. Yes, bank robber. It's always listed as.
Thank you, Scoobypedia. Love
Thank
you,
you,
baby.
Scoobypedia. If there's any of you who like know a guy who runs it, oh, we love you. We really appreciate you.
Love you, baby.
You little kiss. Okay, cool.
Bye-bye.
I think that's about it for
Yeah.
for that one. It's
Yeah.
just boring.
We always try to do our best gags. So my best gag was the scene where Fred says the word "listen" and then just the whole scene spins. It's a great little weird transition.
I
But
like the part where the torpedo chases them.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. But overall, this episode's a 5.5 out of 10.
Absolutely. We both gave it that, so that's what it is.
I just before we move on, I want to go back to my notes here because right before we meet the creepy heat from the deep, I just write we get the episode title card again, so I wrote that down, and then just immediately, since the first shot is of the creepy heap, I wrote, "What the fuck is this ugly motherfucker?"
It looks like that one boss from Skyward
Skyward
Sword.
Sword. Yeah. See, I was thinking it then. Let's move on to the Chiller Diller Movie Thriller.
The Chiller Diller Movie Thriller is a very odd, very strange episode in our listing because
Very
we have a new character, Scooby D, who is cousin, sister. I oh, I swear
Sweet home Alabama.
the Scooby family
I'm
tree is
coming
just a
home to
knot.
you.
It's just a knot.
Sweet home Alabama.
It's yes. So Scooby D is Scooby Doo's cousin and not his sister. However, we still do not know the relationship of Scooby Dum to Scooby Doo because they've said brother, they've said cousin. I don't know which one. It's scary.
Yeah, they just they even flip flop within this episode, I think.
I don't. I can't remember if they do, but I think they might.
Like it's so inconsistent. But we also get Scooby Dum in this episode, which I
Yeah.
think this is actually the last appearance of Scooby Dum.
Aw, such a shame. Scooby Dum taken from us too soon.
Too soon. Too soon. Anyways, um we get Scooby Dum and Scooby Doo and Scooby D in this episode, and that's going to be really hard to keep track in my head.
Scooby Dum D do dum D
Also,
dum.
I just realized that the two extra Scooby siblings that were added in this were Scooby D and Scooby Dum, which match exactly to Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Oh, huh. That's fun. I like that. That's cool. So this episode is about Scooby D, Scooby Doo's cousin, who is a movie
Slash
star.
love interest.
Shut up.
Because
No.
why did they do
Stop it. Listen, she's just Southern, okay? They do that. That's how this works. Probably.
Sweet home Alabama?
Okay, here's the thing, listeners, and viewers. The Scooby D gives both Scooby Dum and Scooby Doo reward kisses as like payment for doing
For their
stuff.
services.
And boy, do they turn red, and boy, do hearts whirl around their heads. Like,
Hold on, everyone. We're having technical difficulties. My co-host is broken.
shut up. I'm not broken. I'm ready. I'm good. Okay, so we open on the Phantom of Dixie.
Yeah.
It could be the Phantom of Dixie. Yeah. Phantom of Dixie is a good man. Honorable man.
So
I'll talk about this for the rest of the episode.
as Penn pointed out, yes, we open on the Phantom of Dixie. This ghoulish looking fellow terrorizing Scooby D. And it's revealed very shortly after, as Scooby Dum and Scooby Doo charge onto set, that this is actually a movie that they're filming, and supposedly a remake of a silent film of the same title, in which a man named Milo Booth was made very famous by.
Yes.
So, um, after being told that this was in fact a scene that they were filming, because Scooby Doo and Scooby Dum are morons, um, the gang is brought into the makeup trailer with Scooby D, and we get some a little bit of exposition and background on what's going on. All before Scooby D notices a slip of paper on her mirror that says, "Quit this film or it will be your last. Signed me, the ghost of Milo Booth."
Doom. Doom.
Thank you. And after this ominous message, we get a little more introduction, and basically the gang figures, we just gotta go back to Hollywood. We'll just run away from the ghost.
It's
'Cause-
fine.
yeah. So they all hop on a train, Orient Express style, to go to Hollywood, and we actually get a pretty interesting setup here. I'm a sucker for train mysteries.
Yeah, train
Murder
mysteries are pretty cool.
Murder on the Orient Express, that one chapter in Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, absolute bangers. Bangers. So, anyways, they get on the chapter. I have Paper Mario on the brain. They get on the train, and they also drag a coffin onto the train, and everybody's reassured that no, it's just a prop. It's totally just a prop.
It's just
Uh, until the ghost of Milo Booth crawls out of said coffin, beats up a conductor, stuffs him in it, and starts marauding around the train.
Phantom of Dixie.
We get a little bit of shenanigans with this guy, as Scooby Doo and Scooby Dum are put on guard for Scooby D so that she's not assailed by the ghost.
Ooh.
And after the ghost does in fact assail Scooby D, the gang kind of mounts up a search warrant for the ghost, whilst Shaggy is put on guard of Scooby D. He falls asleep, of course, allowing Scooby D to go get water, where she is then kidnapped by the ghost and replaced by a doppelganger.
Yes.
Now, instead of doing the obvious thing that would be good and keep everybody on the train in an isolated location where there's only so many suspects and you can actually ratchet up the tension, instead they just get off the train and bum around in a
Little
hodunk town
carnival.
for a while.
Little carnival.
Yeah. So they chase the ghost off of the train to like the town where Milo Booth died. And they
Yes.
visit his grave, find it empty, and they're thinking, "Oh shit, maybe it is the ghost. Maybe." Whoa.
Whoa.
And the gang gets locked inside the mausoleum, where
Yep.
they escape after some shenanigans.
The shenanigans being that Scooby Doo holds everybody up, like on his shoulders, and then manages to climb them as gravity is reacting to get out.
Yeah.
So he climbs them while he has left. He is no longer holding them, and he just goes up.
Up. Up. Up.
It is
Uh
now time for up.
so they get out of the mausoleum and then they go chase around the guy around the carnival with right before the doppelganger Scooby Doo is discovered.
Yes, discovered because she doesn't kiss like Scooby Doo does, and instead takes the dog's lips, stretches them to a bird bath, then spritzes some water and makes a,
And then just
and then lets it roll back like a measuring tape, like a.
honestly, that, you ever just buy a measuring tape and then like see how far it measures and then let it all snap back all at once? Best thing you can do. Every
No,
time I get a measuring tape, that's what I do first.
but you break it like that. You break those.
Shush. Let me play with my measuring tape how I want, Ben.
You know what? I can't. If you go through too many measuring tapes a week, you're going to have to get rid of the measuring tape budget. It's not going to work.
No,
It's not going to work.
my local Home Depot has my picture with a face, has a picture of my face with a circle and a line through it saying, "Don't sell this man more measuring tapes. He bought out our entire stock last week."
Do not sell him measuring tapes. Oh God, it's just so off topic. Okay, so they go to a carnival after this, uh, and find a film, an old film in the carnival. They go to it's like a film thing.
They go to
It has Milo Booth in it, and he's wearing glasses.
Yes, and this is how they figure out that the Phantom isn't actually Milo Booth.
Yeah, yeah.
Because here, watch this. Fuck it. Who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I? Who am I? Who are you?
I don't know.
This is a different podcast. Welcome to the fucking welcome to the
Fire Emblem review,
no. I was
matchup review.
Kim Possible. We're reviewing Kim Possible here. You know, fucking Shio.
Yeah, I know.
into that.
Fucking. Oh God, damn it. Oh jeez. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
God.
We gotta stay together. We gotta get through this. Okay.
Gotta try.
So they finally go through a log ride and decide that the way to get to Phantom is to rescue Scooby Doo from the Phantom and the imposter.
Yeah,
Sus.
got her in a sack.
Yes, and they just like fucking Shaggy just drops down from a bridge holding both Scooby Doo and Scooby Doo, and they just swap her. Like they just grab her out of a river.
And then they
Off of a
end up
boat.
end up in the log flume.
Yes, and then they go to the log flume, and then at the end of the log flume, they just sort of run away and say, "Hey, ha, lol, we got Scooby Doo, idiot, haha, dumbass, stupid,
Yeah.
Johnny."
And they use this to capture the Phantom, revealing that he is in fact Scooby Doo's agent, who replaced her with a doppelganger who listens to his commands more, so that he can make major money off of her.
I guess, yeah, that.
I it's weird.
Okay, first of all, this plan makes no goddamn sense because in the episode, the imposter is never seen to talk using the fucking wizard magic that they're all imbued with.
I think the imposter has one line, which is to Scooby Doo saying, "Yes, I'm you."
Oh,
I think that's it. That's it.
okay. In that case, like I don't. But why?
But they don't even sound the same. It's like
Okay, so the idea is we kidnap an actor and replace him with an exact duplicate that looks like you but can't act. This is the plan. We're gonna take your acting careers.
I feel like this is the plot of an Olsen twins movie, and they had one Olsen twin play.
Both Olsen twins. They could only get the budget for one of the two.
Yeah.
I mean, we got one. They both look the same, right? So why don't you just do your sister?
Well, they did the opposite thing in Full House, where they both played the same character.
Oh, they just slotted back. I wouldn't know. I never watched Full House.
Everywhere you look.
Everywhere you.
Oh God, Neil Spanish, you bastard. You're my wonder. So this is revealed, and then the episode still has 2 minutes left because we need to go to the Oscars so Scooby Doo can get her fucking Oscar, even though
Yeah.
she did fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Although that's how the Academy Awards work, anyways. So
Wolf Walker should have got that Oscar.
at least they got it right with Parasite last year.
The Academy does not respect animation. They don't. They put Boss Baby on there one year. Fucking Boss Baby.
They literally just put whatever movies Pixar and DreamWorks.
And Pixar always wins. I watched Soul. It wasn't that good. That's my hot take. Didn't make me cry. Nature, reality, and soul and whatnot. I'll fight you, Pixar. Come down, bike racks. I'll fight all of you. I'll fight your entire animation department. I will beat up a rack of servers. Your render farm, it's gone. All right? It's just gone.
Oh, you're laughing now, but when I get Best Original Screenplay nominations for my Hex Girl direct-to-video movie, you'll be laughing that I will be laughing then.
Yeah. Keep going, man. You'll get there one day.
I hate my life.
It's okay, bro.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, what else is there? They go to the Oscars. Scooby Doo gets a flipping award. That's the end. Yeah, that's it. The best part of this episode is when it goes Phantom of Dixie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Best part of this episode is in the first 30 seconds. Leave after that.
It's done. So. Okay.
Skip on your DVD player.
Okay, so next up is Cars.
So.
Oh, we didn't rate it. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. It's shit. It's garbage. It's poopy. Okay, next up, Cars. It's about family.
It's about family. Actually, this episode isn't really about family, but
no. You know what's funny? The What's New episode actually was about family. Because they wanted to beat their dad so he would retire and like actually be like hang out with them.
Oh yeah, it was.
And it had Mr. Bones in it. Come and get me,
now
Mr. Bones.
And it had Smash Mouth as a chase music. That's how you write a fucking Scooby Doo episode about cars.
Okay.
That's how you fucking do it. Not this episode.
Jesus Christ. We need to refocus. We got this.
We're trying. We're trying our best. All right, so it's Mr. Bones again. He's in a car again because they can't come up with a more original concept for a car monster than Skeleton Driver or Evil Mystery Machine. They just have the two. And
owned by Slash.
And the gang are at the malt shop. Shout out to Skooks. And Scooby just sucks on a milkshake. And Velma is reading the paper where she recounts what happens in the opening salvo, where a driver is kidnapped by a phantom racer in the fog. Velma just basically recounts the thing that we saw like a minute and a half ago, and the gang decides that they want to go to the Grand Prix to solve the mystery. But they kind of investigate the track and find some like tire track stuff. Like the tire tracks kind of nest within each other, and it's like some real Vin Diesel style crime shit.
Oh God! Don't remind me of Okay, so in Fast and Furious 2, is it 2? Is it 2? No, I'm an idiot. It's not 2.
It's one of them.
One of them. It's one of the Fast Furious movies. He just has Batman detective vision, and he can just
Oh, that's Fast 4.
Fast 4. Fucking Vin Diesel, right? So he just takes a look at like a fucking road, and there's nothing there, and then he reconstructs the crime scene from nothing.
Looking just at the tire skid marks.
Yeah.
He's car Batman.
I hate car Batman.
I love Vin Diesel. What are you talking about?
I'll kill you.
Anyways, so the gang follows the tire tracks to an old ass junkyard where they meet Junkyard Man, and then they get assailed by this racer who laughs like Skeletor and get told, go to the old car museum, he's there. They then break into the car museum and get chased around by the skeleton driver, and we get probably one of your favorite screen caps in the entirety of this show, Pen. I'll let you
Yes,
take this one.
absolutely. Okay, so this joke is actually the funniest part of this episode. So Scooby takes a horn, like a car horn, a clown horn, you
Like
toot,
from one of the old cars in the museum.
from one of the old cars in the museum, opens up the Phantom's pants, drops it in, elbows him in the butt so that it makes a toot, giggles, and then runs away.
It literally, the 30 seconds of this episode, it looks like a fucking shit post. It's
It's so stupid. It's amazing.
love it so much. Love it here. So after doing the ass horn gag, the gang promptly commits property damage and a B&E into the museum. And this episode just kind of devolves into wacky race,
Or
if I
yeah,
may.
you may, but you dare risk
Dick.
mentioning him.
Dick.
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 The heck?
So they just kind of bum around and go around until the monster leaves, and then Daphne falls in a pit, and they find in the pit the skeleton driver's secret lair, where he has a book on hypnotism, no doubt written by an Australian. They're masters of
Absolutely.
this in the
Mm-hmm,
Scooby
mm-hmm.
Doo universe, and we see fucking the skeleton driver bricklaying Scooby into the wall like fucking Cask of Amontillado style. Like, I did not expect an Edgar Allan Poe reference in an episode about a Phantom race car in my Scooby Doo show second season review. And I bet you didn't either. But hey, I ranted about Seth Green last episode, so fuck you.
Oh, good God. It's just a lot of bad. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. Um,
Yeah,
there are a few parts where Scooby just picks up the car and runs faster than the other car because he picked it up, hiked it up like a pair of shorts,
just Flintstones it.
Flintstonesing it. Yeah. 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 Then eventually they get him to jump off a cliff into a tree.
Yeah. Boulder, extend, tree. What? And this whole thing was literally just a carjacking scheme for the disgruntled Grand Prix racer to steal the cars, tune them up, and then sell them to the European circuit.
Yep. Which I mean, they're probably very expensive, right? I mean,
I guess, but like the thing is these are all American Grand Prix racers. Do you know what who's on the European Grand Prix circuit?
no.
Ferrari. We don't
Oh,
want your crap American. No, that's French. So I guess this would be Renault. So Renault's like, we don't want your crap American cars. And then Ferrari's like, hey, come on, what are you talking about? This is a Ford? I can't. You cannot afford my friggin' Ferrari. Get the fuck out of here. Does it even have
leave.
a V12? You are 4 cylinders too short. You silly American. V12, naturally aspirated with cannons.
With cannons?
It's Italians. It has 1,000,000 horsepower.
million horsepower, so much cannons. It's not even that's a bad accent. Whatever.
That's a
Whatever.
Richard Hammond bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bottom Gear.
No, we're almost done. We gotta finish this up.
I'm in a wacky mood today.
Wacky tobacco.
So, they bust the guy, and then they watch the race, and I think Scooby wins it. I don't even care anymore.
Oh no, he wins it because there's a floating animate bone that they don't explain. Okay, so this fucking bone, right? It just floats in out of nowhere for no goddamn reason, and it just woo, and then Scooby decides that hey, I'm gonna float too. So he gets in his ghost race car and then he drives up to it and then he bites it. Now listen to me. There have been several instances of animated skeletal creatures within this thing. We haven't even gotten the goddamn skeleton men yet. Okay?
Can't wait for the skeleton men. James Gunn, I'm coming, baby.
Flipping skeleton men. Gosh darn tar monster. Season 3 is gonna be a wacky time.
Season 3 is gonna be, hey, this was in Monsters Unleashed.
We also get to talk about the fucking warlock.
Oh God. Right, I forgot about him.
The warlock Wimbledon. Okay.
Let's finish this.
Let's finish this up.
Scorecard.
All right. So, to end off this episode, our scorecard, we have added one appearance of Scooby Dum to our list. Four appearances of Scooby Dum. We've added 2 instances of petty crime, making our total 10. And if you enjoy our podcast and would like to contact us, you can follow us on Twitter at do_review or email us at thescoobydoo@gmail.com or follow us at the Scooby Doo Review on YouTube. And that's the episode, everybody. Thanks for listening. And remember, we wouldn't have a podcast without these meddling kids and their dumb dog. Thanks, everybody, and come on back next time for time travel.
Yes. Bye-bye, everyone.